Hello and welcome to Chicken Bros. My name is David Heath.
Wow. Now that was a season.
I got you. Uh, yes, and this is the third and final season of Owl House.
Mm, it's
Yeah,
been 2 days and I'm still in great pain.
yeah. The finale aired this past Saturday, and yes, mind you, we are going to be going into detail about that. So spoilers ahead. But we're going to talk about all of season 3, which unfortunately was just 3 episodes.
Damn you, Disney!
Damn you, Disney! You ruined. Well, I mean, not ruined because it still was awesome, but like unrightfully shortened, an amazing show.
Yes. Thank you, Dana.
Yes,
And everybody
seriously,
else
thank you,
involved.
Dana and the crew, for an awesome, awesome show. So,
Season 3 opens
right where
with
at least season 2 left off, with the unfortunate
trapping
cliffhanger of
our heroes in the human realm.
yes, and we have no idea if the Isles is okay because the
That was
collector
the
got
worst part.
loose.
I was like, fuck, what's going on?
Yeah, but thankfully they're at the Noseda household, and Camilla, being the awesome mom
I'm
she
back.
is, yeah, Camilla being the awesome mom that she is, brings them
I
in.
I'll give her, like, that was a lot to take in, but she took it in good stride.
Yeah, she did very well. Uh,
If if there's a way, we'll find a way.
and everybody is, obviously shaken up by all this, but no more so than Luce and Hunter, because Luce feels like they're going to blame her when they find out
Because
she was the reason that Bellows met the collector.
because she inadvertently taught Philip Woodabane, who becomes Bellows, of
Yeah,
the
the,
one
the
spell
light
he used.
glyph brought him to the collector, all that. And Hunter is worried that they're gonna hate him because he's really a Grimwalker of Caleb Woodabane.
A Grimwalker is basically an undead zombie clone, basically.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
so they're like having to bear this horrible secret.
oh, while the others are trying to adjust to the human realm.
Right. And, Camilla is, of course, just really happy that Luce is safe and home, and Luce is like, yeah, I'm home, but they're not.
Yeah, Mom, why don't like it? I feel like Luce either like developed or like is finally facing the fact that she has depression in this episode because like I was kind of worried about her this entire time. I was like, oh god, if she is
I
not
think
left,
she
she just
tackles it, like, throughout this entire season.
I feel like if she's left alone for too long, she's gonna do something she'll regret. I was so scared for her.
Yeah. Um, so they spend months trying to find a way to reopen the portal back to the Boiling Isles, but to no success. And while they're there, like Noah said, they're adjusting to living in the human realm. Hunter cuts his hair to try to,
Differentiate himself.
yeah. So because his
Oh,
long
Willow
hair
cuts his hair.
reminds him a little too much of Kayla. Yeah, that's right. Willow cuts his hair. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and also V gets her own like unique look.
That was so cute.
I loved it. I like V.
I do. I love V. Like she's the one character that I'm like okay, Luce, Amity, Willow, Gus, they can take care of themselves. But V, don't hurt my baby.
And also, I just want to point out that over the course of the few months, Luce gets this look that somewhat resembles her beta look.
They all eventually. Well, not all, but
Not Amity, really.
we'll get to that when we tackle the end of the third episode. But
Uh.
speaking of Willow, I love her new look. I love her cute little outfit, which had a leaf on the shirt, which kind of reminded me of Animal Crossing a little bit. And then she did her hair in braids, which was cute as heck. Yeah, if you haven't picked it up by now, I'm a huge Willow simp.
Well,
And I'm okay.
if they've watched the other two Owl House reviews, they know that, because we definitely talked about that before. I have to. We had to have, right?
Probably.
There's no way that didn't come up in conversation.
I had to gush about any sportness from at some point during season 2.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So yeah, the months go by and they're in the human realm for a while. Their looks change quite a bit, and I love that little stab they took at Duolingo.
Yeah,
Who
they're
knew?
learning
Practice
Spanish.
every day, or I'll haunt you in your sleep, or something like that.
Congratulations, you're the top student. And we'd be like, huh, I was top student once.
Uh, and they decide we've been here for months and no progress on the door. We can't expect Camilla to take care of us forever. So they decide while Luce is at school to venture out into the human realm and try to find answers that way. Because after all, she went into the demon realm by herself.
Yep. I'm surprised Luce was able to pick up what she missed.
Yeah, and also Hunter's palisman Flapjack is for some reason pecking at the floor trying to look for something, and it wasn't until Amity tripped into it that
Poor
they
thing.
found. Yeah, poor thing. That they found what it was. It's this. What's it called? A rebus.
Rebus,
A
yeah. It's like
rebus.
a puzzle that tells stories and pictures.
Yeah, and they can't figure out what it means, so they decide to try to go around and see if they can find someone who knows what it means.
They go to a costume shop, which makes sense because it's near Halloween.
Yeah.
They go to, where else did they? They went to a costume shop. They went to...
Costume. Hang on, wait. Let me think.
They had to go somewhere before. They went to 3 different places.
They went to a costume shop. They went to... I have to assume that was like a bank or something, because there was like these little deposit boxes.
Library. That's what it was.
Library. That's right. Yeah. And then
and
Amity was trying to open the thing, the Boiling Isles way, but it doesn't work that way. And then this little girl came up and opened it. She's
and she just trips and falls on her face again. Poor thing.
And then they go to the zoo and face down a giraffe.
And I was just like, okay, maybe like I've fed a giraffe once at the zoo. I'm like, oh come on, giraffes aren't that bad.
Yeah,
nope,
but,
that thing's a fucking demon.
Yeah, but you remember Ida said in episode 1 that they banished those things.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, but that was centuries ago. Maybe giraffes have mellowed out since then. Nope.
Like a Gus was like, I don't blame our ancestors for banishing those guys.
Ugh.
And then V gets the idea, okay, I know one place we can check, and then they go to...
I was hoping to avoid this. And so she brings them to the
Gracefield Museum.
Historical Society where she was captured.
Yeah, by Jacob, that asshole.
And Willow even says, it's okay if you want to hang back. Luce told us about that creepy Wish Hunter wannabe. And V's like, nuh-uh, I'm okay. We face a giraffe. We can do this. Yeah!
Bust through the doors, and she sees one of her friends from camp, Masha.
Who is a non-binary person voiced by Gray Griffin.
Yes. And also, the show never really, went any further than this, but they hinted at possibly V and Masha being a thing.
Yeah, because Masha's like, say, have we met before? I feel like I've seen your face before. Nope, I just have the normal amount of face. Just the one. Hey, me too.
If you ever need a tour guide, hit me up. Gives her a brochure, and she's blushing.
It was so cute.
It was. And so they go to Masha about the rebus, and they basically explain everything about it, like how these symbols mean words and phrases.
Yeah.
And so they decipher that it means that where it's pointing to, there's Titan's blood.
That was so cool. You guys have been friends forever.
It wasn't always like this.
These past few months have been weird, but look at all the memories we've made.
And Willow has this beautiful photo album of all the little times they spent in the human realm, which
each
to me
photo
just
an episode. But
yeah. To me, they just represent episodes that we should have gotten out of the season, but
a beach episode, the high side gang watching Hocus Pocus,
and Willow has this total look of disinterest on her face.
Just like, is this how the human world sees us?
And Luce is like, wait till you see how they see vampires. Twilight.
Yeah.
And then there's this cute photo set of Luce and Amity on a date. Oh, by the way, there was a bit during the opening montage where Luce came out to her mother as bisexual, and it was so adorable. Hi, I'm bi.
Hi, I'm bi. And of course, Camilla being Camilla was completely supportive.
Absolutely. She even has like a LGBTQ plus. She has a pride pin in the shape of a heart.
Yep.
And so while they're doing this, Luce is with her mom. She's a nurse at work, and
she's a veterinarian.
Oh, right, a veterinarian. My bad. And
still a doctor though.
Yeah, still a doctor, but I just said nurse, so I got it wrong.
Yeah.
But while she's there, she sketches the light glyph, and then like while her hand's on it, she notices like a little burn. She's like, that's weird.
Hmm?
And then by the way, when the Hex group went to go ask about the Rebus, Hunter wasn't with them. He stayed back with Flapjack, and he could have swore he saw.
That's one of my favorite moments, though. Just like they're packing it up, like they're getting ready to go out into the world. Snacks, check. Revis, check. Disguise, check. And he's dressed like pretty much a Star Trek ripoff.
Yeah, Cosmic Frontier that Hunter and Gus found in the basement.
Camilla, are you a nerd? Which she is. But
and Willow's like, oh, that is a look.
And Amity, her original design, her original personality shining a little bit, says, I don't think the world is ready for the brave choices of 2008. Please change. Willow covers her mouth. Don't listen to her.
I mean, Amity kind of had a point. It wasn't exactly subtle clothing.
I know. But it's Hunter. Give him a break, okay?
But yeah, Hunter, while he stayed behind, could have sworn he saw Bellows hanging around the corner. So when Luce gets home, he has to tell her, and her alone, that he thinks he saw her in the shack. So they go to confront him, or they try to, but they end up just finding like this lone rat. And Luce goes, "Oh, thank goodness, it's just a little angel." And this moment, I swear, was the exact moment the show made me care about Hunter, because Luce said, "We gotta look after you too, Hunter. You're family now." And then behind the mask he's wearing, he's crying, like just sobbing into the mask. I'm like, "Oh, damn."
This mask is pretty gross now.
But then when they leave, his shadow reveals like antlers, so Bellows is inside him.
Yeah, because in the end of season 2, in the last episode, when they're going through the portal, you see a little blip of the remains of Bellows plop onto his shoulder.
Yeah, so the goop is in him.
Goops.
And so when the Hex group is getting ready for the haunted hayride at Gravesfield, and they're all deciding what costumes to wear, Gus and Hunter are going to go as Captain Avery and Chief Commander O'Bailey. I love Camilla's like, how do you know about Cosmic Frontier? Oh, all the stuff in your basement. Oh, it's funny how stuff just ends up in your basement without you hiding them.
Cool, he was just like us.
Yeah. And Amity has the idea of her and Luce going as Azura and Hecate. And also, I just want to point out, because I know Noah will love it, Willow wearing vampire teeth and going, "Wah ha ha ha."
That was so cute. I was like, that honestly was peak cute. I was like, there's no way she could get cuter.
Oh, and there's a scene. There's a scene we forgot that took place earlier in the episode. Camilla, when she drifts off to sleep at one night, starts having dreams. They're memories of Luce as a little girl, but being, shall we say, unique.
Yeah.
And then other parents saying like awful things about her behind her back, and then
like she was been raised by wolves. Hey, wolves are great parents.
And then we actually see the moment from the first episode where Luce was doing Romeo and Juliet, where she goes, "Oh, happy dagger, give me death," and then out some sausages.
Her dad thought of that one. And then, oh, now it must punch me.
Yeah, and then we see a flashback or a memory of Camilla in the principal's office talking to the principal, and it was actually his idea to send Luce to the think inside the box reality check camp.
Yeah.
So, it was never her idea. She was always in favor of Luce because A, she knew how unique she was, and B, she was still trying to get over her father, Manny, who, by the way, passed away when Luce was little.
How little? Like, I would say maybe she was like 10 or 11, based on...
Maybe. It's hard to say. But yeah, she was real, real young.
Yeah, poor kid.
And so that happens. And so the night just before the haunted hayride, Luce gets up to her laptop and does like a diary entry and says, "Mama says I have to learn from my mistakes, so I know what I have to do now." And then it cuts off there, and we're like, "Wait, what do you have to do?"
What are you doing, Luce?
Because as Noah said, she was displaying a lot of traits of depression, and I was like, "Luce, please tell me you're not thinking what I think you're thinking." But,
so you're saying with...
Just stop. Don't even try to go any further with that. Motherfucker. I don't even know how that quote goes.
Me either.
But yeah, I see the reference you were making.
Our thoughts we think we thought, I think.
Anyway, it's the night of the haunted hayride. They get on the hayride, and like Masha is there, and they're explaining the story of the brothers Wittebane, which Luce and Hunter know.
Knowledge. Boo!
Just lie to me.
Make us cry. Make us cry.
And Luce and Hunter know that Philip and Caleb is really Bellows, and the guy that Hunter is a Grimwalker of, but only they know that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
as Masha explains the story, they were in Gravesfield, like in what, the 1600s, something
yeah.
like that? Yeah, and a witch by the name of Evelyn showed them showed them a way to the Boiling Isles and like enticed Caleb with magic and wonders, and Philip went to go find him and was never heard from again. And as Masha brilliantly puts it, sounds like Big Bro got a hot witch girlfriend and Little Bro got upset.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of what happened.
Oh, assume we don't really.
That's a truncation of what, I mean, that's essentially what happened. It's just kind of a truncation.
Yeah.
But Hunter is seeing Bellows again everywhere he looks. He can hear him chuckling. He can see those piercing blue eyes everywhere he looks. So he tries to tell Luce again, and Luce is like, "Why would Bellows be out here? Like Titan's blood? What? I'm not supposed to tell you, but Amity and the gang was going to surprise you by showing you this place where we can find Titan's blood."
That's really sweet.
Yeah. And so they try to get the Rebus from Amity without them knowing about it, so they can make sure that Bellows is taken care of before anything happens.
Flapjack, get the Rebus. Flapjack is hesitant. I'll say it again. His eyes glow.
Get the Rebus. It's like, hey, what the heck is wrong with you? Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on with me.
Oh.
We know. Anyway, Flapjack gets the Rebus and they take off into the woods. And this really hurt. Like, it shows Camilla at home, V's asleep, and then Camilla comes across Luce's laptop and sees diary entries from like back when she was real little.
Yeah. Mom says that we're moving because the house isn't pretty enough, but I think it's because there's a better house or dad nearby, because let's be honest, this house ain't much prettier.
Cuts to the next journal entries. It shows Luce a little older and much sadder. I think this might be the worst day ever.
Life. Well, Dad left me this book. Can't wait to read it.
And it was Azura, the Good Witch.
Cut to the next one. I loved it.
Cut to the next one. She's a little older. It's like, look what I got at the convention. She's got like a sword. I'm going to cut my hair with it. That was a bad idea. And then it cuts to the next one. And this is like, you can tell by the context, it's just before the first episode. Like, Mom saw my book, my report card. Me, Huff, you just applied yourself, but I am applying myself.
I can read and write with tongue in 5 different dialects. And I can sit so very still, the animals come and sit on my lap. But I guess that won't matter on the SATs.
I'm going to wow my teachers with this book report. Don't worry, Mom. You won't have to worry about me ever again. And then it cuts to the entry that she did the night previous, where she said, I know what I have to do now. After the haunted hayride, I'm telling everyone I'm staying in the human realm permanently.
And Camilla gets this look like, oh, hell no.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Luce and Hunter are, chasing Bellows. Hunter just disappears off, and Luce can't keep up with him. He's like, think, how am I supposed to find the Titan's blood if I don't have Hunter? And then she thinks back to when the light glyph in her hand burned a bit when it wasn't supposed to. And then she remembers the brief time she and Lilith were in the human realm and her glyph didn't work. So she tries it again, and this time it works just a little bit. And she remembers, oh, that's right. Glyphs are powered by the magic of the Isles, by the Titan itself. So the closer I am to the blood, the stronger the glyphs get.
So she basically makes this line of light glyphs
to help guide her way.
Yeah, but I don't understand. I still don't understand what this place was. It was like a lake or something, but in the middle was like a graveyard.
I don't know. But the thing is, too, is that since she flashed back to that moment where she and Lilith were periodically, like temporarily in the human realm, technically speaking, that glyph should have worked because King was with them, and King is a Titan.
Right.
But I'm willing to overlook that slight plot hole because, like I said, this show was unfairly shortened, and Dana did her best.
Also, it's fucking awesome anyway.
Yeah. And so the gang quickly notices that Hunter and Luce are missing. Camilla and V show up. V uses Find a Phone, which was pretty clever. And then when Luce manages to catch up with Hunter, he's starting to act a little suspicious.
That is not my boy.
He's like, why don't you find the Titan's blood while I found my Palisade? Little guy got spooked. So Luce looks for the blood and ends up finding Flapjack, and Flapjack's shaking like crazy. Like, Flapjack, why do you look so scared? And all of a sudden you hear,
oh, dude.
Yeah, like Hunter's voice is reverbed with Bellows. Is like, your glyphs
Use
are
a nice
working here.
You, your magic is working here. You You survived.
I did.
Yes, I
Thank
did.
you for your help, Luce, but I don't need you anymore. So he starts attacking her, and that's when the others show up. This is why you're so helpful, Luce. You're so desperate to help people, you even helped me find the collector.
What? Amity's like, what?
Yeah.
And Lucy's like, I didn't mean to. I thought I was doing something good. You are doing something good. Thanks to you, we can finish our work. Starting with them!
And then the freaking fight breaks out, and the animation gets fluid as shit.
And fucking Willow, I swear, like,
Body slams one of his arms down to the ground.
he literally, like, RKO's the motherfucker.
Yeah. Kudos to V, by the way, for trying to suck the magic out of him, but it didn't work.
I learned this from Super Smash Bros.
Lucy even tried to fight off Bellows, trying to get Hunter to break free, and then Flapjack tried to peck at him, and then he's like, "You wouldn't want me hurting your palisman, would you? But then again, I don't care what you want. Goodbye, Evelyn."
And you don't see what happens, but you see the shadow of Bellows shanking poor Flapjack.
Yeah, and that's when Hunter starts to break free of it, and he's like, "You know what I want, Bellows? I want to learn wild magic. I never want to step foot in that throne room again. I want to play fire derby with my friends. But most of all, I want to make sure you never hurt anyone again," and throws the blood in the ocean. And then Bellows tries to dive after it, but I'm assuming this is because he's from the 1600s. He doesn't really know how to swim.
He can swim.
But because it's Hunter, Camilla freaking dives in there to retrieve him. Way to go, Camilla. And she pulls him out, and then Bellows frees himself from Hunter. He's like a freaking goop monster. It's basically what we saw in the end of season 2. And he has the Titan's blood. He's like, "Caleb, you would stab me in the back."
And Lucy's like, you did to him first.
So he takes the Titan's blood, puts it on that door-looking thing, and then it creates a portal. And he slips
This
through.
is for the good of your souls.
Yeah.
You'll thank me later.
And he escapes into the boiling isles. And Camilla's like, "That's the Bellows you've been fighting this whole time?"
Fighting? Guys, Hunter isn't moving.
Yeah.
Again. Well, okay, my theory is now disproven, but at the time I thought, well, Bellows kills everything he possesses, so Hunter is canonically dead, but...
I mean, he probably was, but, we'll never know. But anyway, a injured Flapjack decides to sacrifice his life to save Hunter. And
it sucked. It was like he opens his eyes. They're brown, by the way, like Flapjacks.
Yeah.
Guys, is everyone else okay?
Well,
and
Flapjack, don't. I already know.
He's crying.
Oh, it sucks, man. And then this part hurt me the most is when Amity said, "What did Bellows mean when you said you introduced him to the collector? That was a lie, right?" "No, it was true."
"No. I met him when he was Philip, and I thought he was a good guy, and I was just trying to help, and I thought you would all hate me." It's like, so that's why I made a decision.
"I think it's best in everyone's interest if I..." And then Camilla stops her. "Took your mama to the demon realm." What?
Mia, now that I know what you have been fighting, I won't let you do this alone. We will save your friends and bring them back to their families.
And the portal starts kind of fading in and out, and so they have to leave immediately. And so Hunter walks through and says, "Time to go home, Flap." Gus walks through. "Goodbye, human realm. Thanks for showing me all your secrets."
Willow says, "We'll be back for some revenge."
And then freaking Amity, says what Luce said when they first started dating.
Yeah, it would be so cool if you were a part of it. But no more secrets, okay?
Yeah.
Deal.
I'll see you through. I'll see you on the other side. And then she steps through. And then V decides not to go because she's not ready yet and take Camilla's place. And Camilla goes, "Are you ready?" And Luce says, "Are you? I don't know what we'll see on the other side."
They don't want to leave unprepared. After all, every good witch needs her hat.
And they step through the portal, and then it finally closes, and V walks home, and then you hear V go, "Shoot! Camilla still has the car keys!" Oh, V.
And that ends the first episode.
Yes, and the second one starts again where the season 2 episode left off, showing us King's perspective this time. Because he went, "Wah!" and sent them through the door, and then he's stuck with the Collector. And the Collector is like this kid who's been in timeout this whole time, and now he's finally out. Basically, "I'm free!" It's like the whole world is singing. Ah! I wouldn't call that singing.
That's not singing.
So, how do we play
Owl
the
House.
game Owl House? You told me you'd teach me if I stopped the draining spell.
We need a lot of people.
Look, you can't play if you're freaking everyone out. And that's when Lilith and Hootie show up.
I don't know who you are, but stay away from my nephew.
There's a theory as to why the Collector got so defensive right there.
Because he's a kid, and
No,
kids don't like...
No, because Lilith said, stay away from my nephew. What was Hunter to Bellows? He called him his nephew. And that was the Collector's only concept of what a nephew was. And he, at that point, knew what such a liar Bellows was. So,
You liar, liar, liar.
yeah. So, like, someone else using that word is like, you're not touching King. And so he flings this, like, moon thing at her. And then Hootie's like, Lulu! And then takes it for her and turns into, like, a wind-up box of himself.
A Jack and the Hootie.
A Jack and the Hootie, exactly. And then the Collector does the same thing to Lilith, and she turns into like a puppet. Like, you can't hurt anyone either. They're not hurt. They're in our new home.
And it's like this tiara-shaped castle above the Titan skull.
Yeah, and that's when Ida and Rain wake up to see what's going on. They look up and see the Collector with King, and
Rain is alive! Yay! Because I literally thought...
And Ida's missing an arm.
Yeah, but we already knew that.
Yeah. But Ida goes full harpy mode, and Rain's just like, whoa.
Rain just looked like, oh my god,
the same look that Luce had when she looked at Amity and knocking on Hootie's door. That exact same look.
Yeah. I'm banging that later.
Yeah, exactly. And so the Collector starts really messing with the Boiling Isles, making it change and all that stuff. And Ida her curse starts to take a hold of her as like she's got no more elixir, and the Collector's like, "You look fun, want to play?" And then full owl beast.
Yeah.
And that was like the cold open of the episode, and then it cuts to the gang coming through the portal. Luce was kind of stuck in the in between for like a hot second, and she saw someone who we don't know who it is yet, but like they were like trying to get her attention.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, and then she gets pulled through the other end of the portal into the Boiling Isles. Like, Luce, you were in there for so long, we thought you got lost.
Okay, I think I saw something. Any sign of him?
Like,
Hunter's like, oh, please. Lieutenant Ghost is not going to appear to say his name. I think. Yeah, Bells was here, he's long gone.
And then Camilla's like, well, he better not mess with us. This mama's hungry for vengeance. Gus is like, now that's a fight I'd watch.
Hell yeah.
And while they're making their way through the woods,
Willow's like, coast is clear. And she sees the red grass. Oh, hello, red grass. I've missed you. I can't talk for long. We're on a secret mission. We have to save the Isles.
And then Gus uses illusion magic to make the grass come to life. Like, Willow's back. Yay! Hunter grins at it for a second, but then he hears a bird tweeting. That like this red bird that kind of looks like Flapjack.
Yeah. And he's like,
we don't have time to waste.
And like Gus has this look like, aw. And Will's like, it's okay. We'll feel better once we punch Bellows through the face. And I mean through the face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thanks, Will. You're always looking out for us, aren't you? Well, somebody has to. And with that, my job is complete. She summons a vine and just goes,
yeah.
Like, and wow, you kids are really holding back in the demon realm, weren't you? Or in the human realm, weren't you? Maybe a little. And
Amity finds some abomination goo. He's like, hello, you gorgeous slime.
And Luce has this look like, God, I love that witch. But then she has like this other look like, oh, like I don't want to leave, but I have to. Like,
yeah. And then Camilla's trying to, soften everything. Like, you never told me how beautiful this place was. She sees the Titan skull, like, ah!
Senpai, we don't know that thing is alive or dead.
Actually, the Titan skull is normal. Everything else is not. And then there's these little stars that fly by going,
cute little baby laughs.
Yeah. And, so there, I think Camilla said something like, man, skulls, bones, this place will help with your taxidermy. Luce is like, Mom, you're pretending to be
like this place.
You're like, no, I love that you've been living on a giant carcass. I was like, Mom, I haven't changed my mind. After all this is done, I'm staying in the human realm.
Wait, let's talk first.
Yeah. And then I think that's when they make it to the Owl House, and it's like all beaten up and torn down.
And it has like graffiti, like there is no Titan.
It says Emperor's Coven rules, there is no Titan, you suck. And then there's someone just wrote bad word. That's all they wrote. And so they're in it, like everything's been looted, it's all emptied out.
What is this place? Welcome to the Owl House.
Yeah. And Camilla talks to Willow and Gus like, I need help with Luce. She's so determined to make herself sad, and I just want to help her.
And Gus, he basically tells the story of when he thought he was going to get grounded, so he ran away from home. And basically, Willow, being the reliable person that she is, red flag, by the way, is like,
Not
it's
being
okay
a
to
reliable person, but the fact that she's constantly the
yeah.
one being relied on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Camilla's like, Willow, hold on. Are you okay? I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
Red flag.
Yeah, ding, ding. Don't worry about me. Ugh. And Amity.
I'm not just saying that I'm a Willow simp.
Right.
That was
it was like literally a red flag. Even I could see it. Amity finds Luce in Ida's nest because her egg palisman hasn't hatched yet, and she thought maybe that would help. And Amity says, remember what the Bat Queen said. To connect with your palisman, you have to admit your deepest desire. I never asked. How did you connect with yours? Well, when I was handed the staff, I said, I want to be a great witch, or I want to be a great author like Mildred Featherwild, but she wouldn't move until I admitted I don't know what I want to be, but I want to choose the path myself. And Luce was looking at her egg, going, I want to be a witch and help my friends, but doing one always seems to mess up the other. And Amity finds that picture of her with King, Ida, and Hootie. Like, it looks like a family photo, right down to the fact that Hootie looks like the dad with the glasses and the bow tie.
Like fucking, it looks like one of those '80s family photos.
Yeah, for matching sweaters and everything. And Luce is like, I'll find Ida and King. I don't care how long it takes. And then you hear Hunter go, it's Ida and King! And she's like, wow, that was easy.
They're on that star. And
Camilla's like, how are we going to follow them?
Don't worry. Amity is like, I'm a safe flyer.
Flyer? Flying on their staffs, and Camilla's holding on for dear life.
Whew, those things need seatbelts.
And they get inside Bonesboro, and they find that it's abandoned until it's overrun with, what, witches? Demons? Sparkles?
No. Sparkles?
Yeah, those collectors.
It's like wave of energy.
Yeah, the collector's magic essentially is like overflowing Bonesboro, making it look all pretty-ish, and everybody in there is a puppet. And Willow sees one of her dads.
Like, Dad, wait, it's me. Have you seen Papa?
And then what looks like the owl beast starts coming and wrecking everything. Yeah. And then Collector and King show up on this flying star. Kirby reference. And the Collector uses his, I guess, magic to do away with the owl beast, but it's not Ida. It's actually Terra Snapdragon in a freaking sewn up owl beast costume. Even Luce was like, what?
Yeah, what? Is that the little king guy you were telling me about? Mm-hmm. Ay, qué lindo.
Like mother, like daughter.
Yep.
So basically, the Collector is living out this weird fantasy version of like Luce's life from the stories King told him.
Yeah.
And so
Terra Snapdragon, being Terra Snapdragon, was being a bitch about it.
She wasn't playing along with the Collector's game, so he's decided she insulted King, and he took offense to that, so he turned her into a puppet. And King's like, buddy, you gotta quit doing that.
You stop doing that.
Like, I'm just playing pretend. Well, even playing pretend has its limits. A cranky old witch taught me that. Ida, right? That's what we need, the real thing. You think maybe if I ask real nice, she'll come out and play?
No, her curse is still in effect, but I can go check.
Pinky promise?
You promise? I would never lie to you, Collector.
And
they promise.
And then they fly away, and then everything goes back to normal, beaten up and run down. And they're like, because Collector mentioned something about like the archives, and they're like, do you think anyone who's a puppet gets locked up in the archives? If they do, then that's where we need to go. And then you hear someone go, you'll never make it, because you guys are losers!
It's Bartholomew.
Yeah.
Barkit and Skara.
Yeah, and Skara. And then they explain like what happened when the Collector was out. Basically, everyone was held up in Hexside. Thank you, Principal Bump.
And the adults got turned into puppets, so now all the kids are hiding out in Hexside, which is...
And apparently, somewhere along the way, Bartholomew turned into Man-Tholomew. And, yeah, Hexside basically turned into, like, a weird rebellion-esque kind of... It was very run down. It was not organized whatsoever.
Yeah, I can imagine Camilla's like, "This is where my daughter learned magic."
And then the statue of Principal Bump. It's nice to see teachers getting the respect they deserve. I
I
think.
think
Because it's him pulling off like a skateboard trick.
mittens and
And Ed's like in a full body cast. Oh my Titan.
I, what happened? Well, after you and Dad disappeared, I bravely went to find you. He got cornered by the collector's guards. I tried to run away, but then I fell. He fell into an empty well.
It wasn't
Not
empty.
empty.
There was rocks at the
Rocks
bottom.
at the bottom. Get over here, you weirdos.
And then they find out that they have kind of a rebellion leader, which...
I was so pissed.
Yeah,
because
it's Basha.
Like my least favorite character.
Yeah. Like, wait,
But if
was Thalamiel been your last name this whole
last
time?
Because what I really hated was, not only do I hate Basha as a character, but she was absolutely nothing in season 2. Like she had
always been nothing.
Well, I know, but I mean, like she wasn't even. No one cared about her. Like she wasn't even the antagonist.
I never cared about her.
Well, what I meant was like in her first few appearances, she played the role of an antagonist towards Willow and Luce.
Right.
Season 2, she was just there.
Right.
Now she's back to a freaking antagonist role.
Right. Shows you how much she doesn't freaking matter. But anyway, yeah, she's basically kind of somehow become the leader of them. with okay, now look, I didn't see this until he pointed it out, but she has an assistant whose name was, what was it? What'd she call herself?
Mickey.
Mickey, yeah.
It was obviously Kikimora in disguise.
Yes,
it was like,
it was obvious, and somehow I didn't see it.
Well, to be fair, she had a disguise on, and she was disguising her voice, sounding more like
a valley girl. If I may be so bold, But I really should have noticed it, because when you pointed out the red skin, I was like, oh, and she kind of is the size of a gremlin. Oh dear, that might actually be Kiki, and it is.
Yep. No, not you.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on. So like they go into that room. So from the episode Understanding Willow, that room where the
photo room.
Yeah, the photo room. They go in there because Basha won't let them help do anything.
Yeah, Luce remembers the spell that got her and
Philip
Bella
used to
get into
the Titan skull. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they go into the photo room to pluck that memory out.
Yeah.
And
remember,
like, no schemes.
Remember, Luce, no schemes, no plots, no ruses.
And definitely no shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
By the way, speaking of Bellows, he is creeping around and trying to find a new body. And every time as he's climbing, he keeps seeing the ghost of his brother, like, staring at him blankly. Like, don't look at me like that. It's your fault this happened!
The older brother is talking.
That was from the abridged, buddy.
I know it was.
It was funny as shit, though. Shout out to Tomato Sauce. Tomota Sauce. It was...
Don't you start.
And,
shut up.
And he finds, like, a last Grimwalker corpse that he had saved, but it's failing him, so he's trying to find something else. And while this is going on, King is with Ida and Lilith hiding off somewhere trying to think of what to do. And by the way, Lilith cut her hair, like, back to a natural redhead.
Mm-hmm.
And Ida got a haircut, too. It looks pretty good, actually.
Mm-hmm. Must have cost her a leg.
Yeah.
Or just enough.
And Odalia is basically meant to be Mama Dahlia, like basically just doing whatever the collector says.
Maybe someone would see my potential.
And she makes puppeted Rain, like, organize all the other puppets that we're supposed to be putting in archives. And Bellows makes his way up to the tiara, and...
You'll do nicely. You mean me?
No. You! And then he...
possesses
puppeted Rain.
I was like, no! Because Rain is one of my other favorite characters.
Yeah, they're a fan favorite, yeah. So, using Rain as, no joke here, a puppet, Bellows finds the Collector and tries to possess him, but that doesn't work because Collector, I guess, is stronger. But Collector wakes up and is like, "You're not supposed to move on your own. How did you break the spell?" And speaking through Rain, Bellows is like, "The spell isn't broken. It was through your kindness that it brought me to life. To tell you what? You're in danger, Collector. And
Cut back to the
the gang,
photo room,
yeah, they find the memory, and Willow
and
finds a
then
picture of
of
Hunter
her.
with Flapjack during their first game of
Well,
Fire Derby.
first another red flag. She's looking at all these pictures, which are just various pictures of various characters and various people, and one of them is of her and her dad. And she starts to tear up, and she goes, "No, keep it in, keep it in."
And then she finds that one of Hunter with Flapjack on
Yeah,
their first game of Fire Derby, gives it to him,
yeah,
and he doesn't really know how to react because he's
yeah,
dealing with emotions, and
yeah.
that that makes her like feel
Worse.
like she screwed up, and
Yeah, so she,
and so she walks off. Gus tries to follow her, and then she runs into Basha, who's not helping.
yeah, and giving her like not so easy being leader, huh, Captain Half a Witch? I was like, somebody please deck her. I swear to God.
Yeah,
Like, I don't condone violence, especially violence towards children,
yeah,
but that bitch needs a good punch in the face.
yeah. But her and spoiler alert, Kiki Mora use sleeping nettles to knock out the group and trap them under the school.
Yeah, in the detention pit.
Yeah, and so another good shout out to Tomato Sauce. Somehow he called this when Kiki was fighting Luce and Camilla. He's like, you hear Camilla off in the distance go, Kiki Miki, brew hot toss, and then tosses the baseball bat at her.
It's canon now.
And Amity and Bartholomew are fighting off Basha, and actually Amity manages to convince Basha to let them help. I don't know how she got through to her.
Oh yeah, also Basha is apparently gay for Amity.
Uh,
Please come back.
I don't care.
I know, I don't care either.
I mean, don't take that the wrong way, audience. It's not that I don't care about representation. I do. It's just I don't give a fuck about Basha.
Also, Will Amity is spoken for.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, that's the more important part. Gus and Hunter manage to find Willow, and she's like frantically making vines like, I can fix this. I can fix this.
Oh, this was the hardest part of the episode for me.
Gus and Hunter are getting wrapped up in the vines.
Followed up by the like, I can do this. I can do this. And then, like, since the boys are swallowed out and there's nobody in there, she just goes, "Hello."
Like, I can't do this. Why was I trying to be somebody I'm not? Bosch is right.
Bosch.
I'll always be half a witch Willow. And then Hunter busts out through the magic of Flapjack and gets her out of there. It's like, you're not half a witch. You didn't do anything wrong. Please don't call
Don't ever say that again, please.
And then Gus
thank
tells her,
you,
reliable people need people to rely on too. Just let it out. We'll be okay.
And so she just starts bawling, like, I miss my dad's.
And then they manage to, get out before the... And they're like, Hunter, how'd you do that? Do what? You have magic, dude. The magic of friendship?
The magic of friendship?
No, the magic of Flapjack. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, there's a bit where the Collector listens to King talking to Ida and Lilith about what to do. Like, the thing is, we might be able to trap the Collector. King's like, no, we can't do that. And the Collector thinks he's on his side. Why not? Because it didn't work. Like, we have to find a more permanent solution. And Collector's like, that didn't sound very friendly. And then Rain, Bellows, says, Luce is back too, to help King put an end to your games. No, you're fibbing. You're totally fibbing. Right? And Luce and Camilla are running from Kikimora. And Luce is mad at herself again. It's like, my plan didn't work.
Like, everyone messes up, Miha, even me. Like, I'll prove it. One time, I scheduled my wisdom history the day before my wedding. And I got road rage and cussed out your new principal. And I sold energetics in a pyramid scheme for 3 years.
And I was convinced that we should move to Gravesfield to be closer to that fancy hospital. And you know how that turned out. And worst of all, I didn't stand up for you when you needed me most. I forgot about the astral oath. The what?
What? The astral oath. The promise that Captain Avery made to his family. To be there for each other, no matter what.
Like,
Mom?
Are you a secret nerd? Like, I had a hard time growing up. I was worried you would too. My biggest mistake was trying to change this beautiful good witch into something she wasn't.
Lou starts tearing up, and then her
pal starts hatching, and she's like, I think I just realized something. I don't know why it took me this long, but the only thing I've ever wanted was to be understood. And then finally...
but we don't see it yet. I was like, are you kidding me?
I was like, oh, come on, I want to know what it is. And so the group kind of regathers again. I love when Hunter like dashed Willow and Gus out of the way. Sorry, I'm still trying to get used to this.
Luce has the staff.
Why does that make me nervous? and then the students at Hexside start attacking Kikimora, and then the gang tries to make the giant glyph and then activate it. And
Willow's like, hey Basha, don't think I forgot about you.
Like, I'm gonna kick your ass later.
Oh yeah, and I would help her.
And so they try to make the giant glyph to send them into this Titan skull head, and they make it just the last possible second.
You really beamed us up, eh, oh Bailey?
Beam us up, and that's when Luce's talisman starts to form. Like, what's it gonna be? An otter? A spooky bat? A bird? A snake? You're close.
And it turns into this adorable little thing called a snake shifter,
and she names her String Beam.
And she's perfect. And I love like all the talisman gather, and Camilla says, "Insane! Oh, come here, my babies! Come here!"
And I like how Willow takes Hunter's hand. Like, thanks for what you said back there. You mean a lot to me too.
Cool. Glad I can help.
And Luce is like, I can't wait to show Ida and King. They'll love her. Although Hootie might eat her. King might too. Ida might three.
And then it pans up to the Collector and Bellows. Like, what now, Collector? I think it's time to play a new
game. And that's where episode 2 ends.
And then, okay, now this is going to go into serious spoilers because
this is the finale. So, yeah, there's your spoiler warning. It picks up right there, and everything kind of goes wonky. And then Luce wakes up in the throne room for some reason,
wearing the Emperor's clothes.
Yeah, and String Bean's still with her, and she goes outside and sees
Amity.
She sees everybody petrified first. And she's like, oh no, what happened? And then you see Amity go, don't you remember? This is your doing. You introduced Bellows to the Collector. And, so, yeah.
Sorry, I had to take you down.
Yeah. And, you and I were immediately like, this has to be a nightmare. And then it shows Ida in the conformatorium for some reason. She tries to get out, but then she's captured by her own mother and Lilith. And, you see her father with this bleeding eye. Like, I forgave you. And like, oh crap, this is terrible. And then you see King. He's back where the Titan Trappers were. And you see Bill, like, don't you recognize your siblings? We saved the best spot for you. Like, ugh, this is creepy. And then Luce keeps seeing every single one of her friends, like, basically guilt-tripping her, making her feel horrible, all that stuff. Yeah. Until they gather and Amity finally says, I'm sorry, Luce, but something like, I challenge you to a witch's battle. And then Luce is like, wait, what did you say? I challenge you to a witch's battle. And then she walks up to Amity. Bloop, bloop. You look like Amity. You feel like Amity, but you're not her, are you? None of you are you.
Amity, the quote is, Amity, like, I challenge you to a witch's duel. No. And Amity, as a big fan of Fluid Azor, would never get that wrong.
Come on, attack me. I know what's going on now. And then they try to attack her, but before they can, puppeteer strings come up and grab them. And then they're broken from the illusions. Like, Amity, is that really you? Like, yes, the Collector is locked us in the archives. If you want to save anyone, you have to wake up. How? Think about it. What's the first thing you do when you wake from a nightmare? Amity passes her a light glyph. Turn on the light. And then they get sucked up. And so she activates the light glyph, and then she's broken from the nightmare. She sees Ida and King going through their own nightmares and gets them out of it. And
using a light glyph.
And then, like, I love that little reunion. King hugs her, and then Ida joins in. Come here, you witch! It was so sweet.
Yeah.
And then Collector's like, you said this would work, Ray Ray. They're not, getting all upset.
Yeah. Ray Ray. I have a student at work named Ray Ray.
Yeah. And then, like, why bother trying to teach them anything when you can just take them out? I want to be their friends. Besides, my magic won't work on King. The dog? Yeah, he's really a Titan. And then, because Bellows didn't know that.
Like, I can imagine, like, in his mind, Bellows is like, oh.
Fuck. And then, he tells him, why don't you go and show them how much you want to play, and then they'll be your friend. And so he leaves, and then Bellows grabs one of his like little transport stars and tries to make his way back to the castle. And Rain breaks free of the spell, and they're trying to fight off Bellows. Like, get out! Like, no, I think he'll keep you around for a little longer.
Rain always was a strong one.
And so the Collector tries to play games with Loose, Ida, and King. And
Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man, Jenga. I think Jax.
Rubik's Cube.
And to the point where he finally gave up and starts crying, and Luce tries to reason with him, and he explains that the archivist told him to go down and play with the baby Titans. Maybe they'll want to play. And then they started disappearing, and then the big Titan thought he was the bad guy and then sealed him away. And so Luce tries to,
like the Wildebeest once said, a twist.
Yeah, oh no, you mean the Snaggleback?
Yeah.
So Luce tries to reason with him, trying to show him that we can be friends, but there's a way to it. People are complex.
Yeah. So then she starts showing him her memories, like, this is where it all began.
Owl House shows him like all the adventures they had, like getting into Hexside and playing Grudgeby, all that. And
back in my day, we only had Grudgeby. Now you can play any magical sport you want.
You were the star player. We know, Ida.
And did you know that Lilith was the captain?
Really?
No
that's
way.
A spin-off I'd watch. But while this is happening, Bellows breaks free of Rain and is clawing his way into the throne room. Rain tries like hell to stop him, but he does eventually bond himself to the Titan heart. And
which David called, by the way.
I still don't remember that, but okay, I'll take credit.
I called it. You called that the Titan's heart was going to play a part somehow in all this.
But yeah, he bonded with the Titan's heart, and now
he's slowly. It's a very slow process, which is the only.
He's taking control of the Titan that is the Boiling Isles, and Loose, Ida, King, and the Collector catch wind of this, and they go down to try to stop. Like, part of him is this weird monster looking, this weird Godzilla looking thing that is protruding from the castle, and bless the Collector. Because Luce told him to make friends you have to have forgiveness and understanding, and bless him, he tried to go up there to Bellows and apply that same thing to him and hug his nose.
Nah.
Bless you, Collector. Your heart's in the right place, but wrong person.
Yeah, and then
Bellows tried to attack him, and Luce got in the way. And
don't worry, I think. Nope. Oh. See, so Luce basically dies.
Pretty much,
basically.
Yes, that does happen.
But it didn't hit me as hard as it hit David, and I remember, and I can say that for certainty because we were watching this together.
Yeah, we watched it
together. I could hear the pain in my brother's voice.
Fucking tears.
And I was like, no, the episode just started. They wouldn't do that.
I had a feeling it wasn't going to be permanent, but I don't care, dude. I had to watch that happen.
I know you did.
Imagine if you had to watch Willow go through that.
Oh, how dare you.
It hurts when it's your crush, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, Luce fades away into light balls and ends up in the...
And they go,
freaking
King whisk across the aisles.
Freaking King and Ida go, ham. They go into full-on beast mode.
It was the most sickest thing, and the Collector, poor thing, was like he's trying to snap his fingers, he's got to come back,
because he doesn't understand what death is to mortals.
Nope.
And Luce ends up in the in-between, and Papa Titan pulls her out. Which, fun fact, everybody, in case you don't know this, Papa Titan in the finale is voiced by Aaron Hansen. Yes.
Hey,
I'm Grump.
I am the Titan who wins.
Yeah, and so he
basically tells her, I've been here the whole time. I've been watching over my boy.
Yeah, so you're King's dad? I think King said it best. I am king and queen, best of both things. But dad works well. But you're not the Titan, right? Because that Titan's all dead-looking. Yeah. Does that mean I'm... Whoa, don't go in there, otherwise you will be very dead-looking.
Will be.
And, she says that she felt guilty because when the collector went up to Bellows, part of her wanted him to wipe Bellows out. Like, are we as bad as Bellows? What? Have you been drinking Ida's homemade apple blood? Well, think about it. Bellows says he's trying to save humanity, and we say we're trying to save our families. Don't these feelings come from the same place? You assume Bellows' goal comes from a genuine place, but that man doesn't care about anything other than trying to feed his ego. And, the Papa Titan admits that he was wrong to trap the collector in the in-between. And, he starts to, lose what life he has left. And so he tells Luce that he can pass on his power to her so that she can stop Bellows. Yeah, for a limited time. It's like, are you sure you want to pass your power on to me? Well, you are the one here, and you seem like a good witch, but I can't give you anything unless you accept it. So he passes on his power to her. And she's like, but what about Ida the Owl Lady? Send her my regards. Big fan. No. I mean, King. Isn't there something you want to say to him? He thinks. And then
whispers something in his ear.
I love that. And then the King, the Titan body sinks into the water. Goodbye, Luce. And then she comes back, a freaking, Titan human hybrid thing. And it
she looks so cool.
Dang. She looked hot. I'm just saying. She looked hot.
It's hot.
Yeah. And freaking...
You're hot.
You're hot. King and Ida were so happy to see her back alive again. And so she starts attacking all the little goop things that are Bellows. And Collector's trying to keep the archives under control because it's starting to slip from the Titan head. And by the way, the Hex Gang at this point managed to set themselves free from the light glyphs. And they're trying to keep all the puppets safe because those are their friends. Mm-hmm. And they can't use their magic because they're worn out.
Yeah.
And Camilla's like, you haven't gotten rest since we got here, So they start using glyphs to try to, keep everybody safe. And the Collector's trying to hold up the tiara while Luce, Ida, and King are fighting off Bellows. We have to cut Bellows off from the Titan. How are you going to do that? Come on, Ida. You know where magic comes from. From the heart. So they go into the castle and they find Rain, by the way, who... Beautiful whistling, by the way.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So they managed to make it in there. They don't have their glass. Dadgummit. They don't have their glasses, and so they're like, "Who's there? Don't come any closer." And then Ida puts the glasses.
Easy, Rain.
They're like, "I still am not used to this look."
And Luce get fluffier.
And so, they find Bellows in the throne room. Luce runs right up to him and starts trying to pull him out of the heart. He's like, you can't defeat me. And so they all start fighting him off. And Luce starts saying the thing that Azura said
in the first episode. Don't underestimate me, Bellows, for I am the good witch Luce.
Child of the human realm, student of the demon realm, and warrior of peace. He starts coming loose from the heart. Now eat this, sucker!
And it looked so fucking sweet.
Pulls him out, freaking
suplexes him.
Yeah, and he starts
RKO's the motherfucker.
He starts fading away from the aisles, and then he's reverted back to what his natural form looked like.
Luce, you saved me. I was under a terrible curse like your mentor.
And she has this blank look of yeah, I'm not falling for it, bitch. And then the freaking boiling rain starts coming down and burning his motherfucking ass.
Come, look, Luce, don't you want peace?
Don't just stand there. You'll be just as bad, conniving, and evil as those witches. We're human. We're better than this. Ida,
and she is not
she just
fucking
backs
moving.
away nope. And Ida and King and Rain show up well, we ain't. And then stomps his ass away.
Curb stomps the motherfucker.
Rain's that was extremely satisfying. It's in my claws.
Ew, you got it on.
And Luce, the power of the Titan is freed from Luce. And Ida's like, man, you do have some tall jeans, kid. And so she was back to normal. And Luce was like, oh, by the way, your dad had a message for you. I loaf you? Bread pun!
Bread pun!
And yeah, that's when everything was back to normal, sort of.
The Collector is freeing everyone from the puppet control.
Yep. And
Gus goes back to his dad.
Willow finds her dad's.
pads, which was sweet.
Hunter finds Darius and
Darius
Everwolf again.
shows them his wolf shirt.
Yeah, and everybody starts like rebuilding the Isles and everything. It's just a nice little happy ending.
But because the Titan is now actually officially dead, Luce's glyph magic doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, she knew the Titan language, but now had nobody to speak it to. But it was like she understood that it was kind of like her letting go of that part of her life and starting a new one. And then the finale skips forward 4 years. Luce just graduated high school and is moving on to college.
So, what was your major again, Miha?
Come on, Mom, you know me. I picked all of them.
And she's going to the University of Wild Magic.
Yep. And by the way, 18-year-old Luce. Hot.
Oh, dude.
Look, I've had to listen to you gush about Willow. I'm going to this time, buddy. She looks so pretty.
So then she goes into... So apparently, Luce and Camilla, and I'm assuming V, bought the little shack that is has the portal to the...
Yeah, because the collector kind of made a new portal.
Welcome to the Boiling Isles. Watch your step.
And then Albert goes to let everybody know that she's on her way because they planned something.
And
that's when the credits start rolling, but they start rolling by showing all this. And yeah, like this is when you see Willow, and take it away, buddy.
Oh my God, she looked so damn cute. I've been a Willow fan since her debut, and she kept getting cuter and cuter and cuter and cuter and cuter. And this is like ultimate Willow, my bad. Her hair is shorter. I liked her little emerald entrails uniform. I liked her glasses. Yeah. Also, and this isn't like this isn't like a preference, but she also slimmed down a little bit, which I kind of miss. I liked her chubby exterior, but whatever. She zooms down to a forest where she reunites with Hunter, who is now carving talisman,
and has a new talisman of his own, a blue jay called Waffles.
Confirmed by Dana, by the way.
Yep. And there's a little grave they made for Flapjack, and it says, "Thank you for finding me."
Aww.
And then they go to Hexside. They see Lilith, I guess, overseeing renovations. Also, Bartholomew put Kiki Moore to work rebuilding Hexside.
Get fucked.
Get fucked, little gremlin. And then we see Amity come in on her abomination blimp.
Take it away.
She looks like a hot pirate.
Arr.
And then we see Alador. He's working on removing all the coven sigils from the people's arms.
So everyone can practice wild magic.
Yeah, and I also love how Darius was just shaking him excitedly. He's like,
Oh, yep, they're gay.
Yep.
And totally fine.
I mean, hey, better than Odalia.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then we see the University of Wild Magic. We see Gus teaching a class on human realm stuff. And the headmaster is Ida.
With a hook hand.
Yeah. Another pirate thing.
Yeah.
And King is overseeing the preparations for the surprise, and that's when V, Camilla, and Luce walk through the door, and everyone's like, "Surprise!" and it says, "Happy King Siniera."
What's all this? Camilla told us about the human quinceanera, and since you spent your 15th birthday and your 16th and your 17th rebuilding the Isles, we figured it was better late than never.
Yep. And
now it's a Boiling Isles version of the quinceanera.
Yeah, Lilith was like, "We followed Camilla's instructions to the letter," and then everything is close, but done in the Boiling Isles kind of way. Like the cake has bugs in it. There's a piñata, and Camilla's like, "Good work, guys, muy bueno." And also, King does a glyph pattern and it works. So because he's a Titan, so I guess, yay, new Titan language for him to learn.
So new glyphs for yay.
And then the collector puts on this beautiful star show, and they all watch it. And Luce goes, "King, Ida, thank you for everything. Weirdos. And she's like, "They're almost gone. Okay, everyone, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye.
Bye." It's everybody in the show. And
that was the end of the Owl House.
Gone but never forgotten.
I mean, what?
Well, I'm not. It's been 2 days and I'm still in so much emotional pain.
I mean, it was a hell of a finale, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dana
From my hell.
Dana just keeps knocking it out of the park, and I hope. I don't think she's listening to this, but on the off chance she is, I hope wherever she goes next, it is in her favor.
We love you, Dana. Thank you.
Thank you everybody who worked on this show. It's freaking amazing. I will still continue to rewatch it all the freaking time.
Same. I have every episode on iTunes.
I have every episode on YouTube, and I will forever love this show.
Yeah, me too.
And that was our review of the third and final season of Owl House. Do we even is the rating not obvious to you already? 10 out of freaking 10.
Perfect out of perfect.
Perfect out of perfect. And we will see you guys next time on Chicken Bros.
Bark, 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 bark.